conversation about non-player characters.
Yes.
And I look at it this way. There's consciousness in every square millimeter of the universe. This is my view currently.
Okay.
It's subject to change as I evolve. But look at these other beings not as permanently in that state. They are seeds or unhatched eggs, you might say. Now, they haven't reached self-realization. But those like you and I and people who are questioning the programming that we've received throughout our lives, those that are capable of doing that critical thinking and choosing to change the program, maybe we're part of a graduating class. That's not to say others can't get here, but they are playing their role right now as automatons.
That is so weird that you would bring that up, because I was thinking this just the other day, because I got into that discussion with, about NPCs and on air, and I was talking about it, and I was going, maybe I'm thinking this too simply, and that is, what if NPCs had levels just like anything else does? And once you got to a certain point, what if the NPCs actually became more than themselves, more than the original programming? Is that what you're kind of hinting?
That's exactly where I'm going with this, Mark.
Yeah.
That is the hope. Perhaps the original progenitor, God, whatever you want to call them, maybe they wanted company so badly that they threw out these sparks of consciousness, and they could only imbue so much life into these seeds. Those seeds had to sprout on their own to become real company, good company for the creator or the creators. They had to walk their own path. They had to reach the yang moment. I describe in some of my thinking here, yin is awareness. This is the two compartments of consciousness, yin and yang. The yin would be the awareness part of consciousness. The yang is the power of decision to change your awareness.
Yeah.
And one of my great mentors describes that as not awareness, but awareing. When you are fully active, self-realizing, you are now in a position to change the way you see the world. Up to this point, though, something higher than us is reading our thoughts, our expectations. They know precisely what our context and our sphere of possibilities are. They don't throw UFOs in our face all the time because they know that's a little bit beyond our current reach of expectation or probability.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it isn't sitting out there in the sphere of possibility. But they keep it just a little further ahead. Another statement that I've made once, Mark, is that this place was designed to be a little crazy. How do you make pearls? You irritate the oyster with a little irritant, a piece of sand or something. It is the absurdity of this world that compels us to look for home.
Nice.
You have to think it's wired. It's why if it was too perfect, then you'd just stay asleep.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I'm going to steal from the Matrix on that one, where it said, "Did you know the original Matrix was designed to be a perfect world where none suffered?"
Oh, is that so?
And everyone was happy. Yeah, it was from the first Matrix from 1999, and he goes, it was disaster. No one would accept the programming. It was like a dream that your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up from, which was why it was redesigned to this, because human beings define the reality through misery and suffering. I totally agree with that. Yeah, that's fantastic. That's great. And it was funny because I was thinking about this. I was going, because I was thinking about all the NPCs I played with over the last, 15 years since they've really been around. And I was thinking, there's some NPCs that I really liked, and I want them to be more. I want to keep hanging out with them. And I was wondering, it's like, what if they could become more? And some people actually, in like some of the mods and the add-on programs, they developed very complex NPCs by our standards. And it all comes down to programming. I thought that's great. I'm so happy you brought that up.
Well, you see, intelligence isn't enough. You see, an NPC can become profoundly intelligent, can be
Sure.
highly educated and schooled in science, philosophy, etc.
Yeah.
But until it says, I know who I am a non physical consciousness, and I can choose my mood, my thoughts, my feelings, and my higher self, who's been with me the whole time,
Yeah.
will add unto us. Seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all else will be added unto you. Well, seek those higher thoughts,
Yeah.
is the way I see it.
Yeah.
But now, what is capable of tracking with our thoughts and our expectations? What can read our minds and our hearts so intimately that it knows what reality is appropriate to who we are and what we're thinking and what our chronic emotions are and expectations are? It would have to be us. It would
Yes.
have to be something that is us, or maybe we're extensions of that progenitor, whatever. That's getting. I mean,
Yeah.
who can? I mean, it's. I often thought of the universe as a complex, multi-level marketing campaign.
Yeah.
You have your upline, but that's it has to be something like that. There has to be something higher that's tracking with us. And but
Yeah.
as you get older,
Hmm.
and I have a granddaughter
Hmm.
up on Camana Island, by the way, up in your part of the woods.
Hmm.
And something I thought about the other day, Mark. I said, I've achieved enough in my life, and I've satisfied enough of my desires. It's changed me. Now I want to live through others a little more, and extend that thought out 1,000 times, 10,000 times. How do the higher realms, assuming you believe there's higher beings,
Hmm.
how would they behave? Would they be asserting themselves upon us all the time? I don't think so.
No.
I think the tendency, Mark, would be for them to say, okay, you take the reins. It's just like an adult playing with a child.
Hmm.
The adult tends to let the kid set the tempo, and the adult will play along.
Yeah.
And I think that may be the case here. But there's a deeper hope. There's a complex hope in being so old and wise and they can see the whole horizon.
Hmm.
And that is, okay, they want to have fun with us, and they want us to grow, but they want us to become stronger and wiser and deeper and more mature. But we have to develop our yang, our ability to choose.
Yeah.
Because what good is it to have a counterpart who just does what it's told to do? Is that really love?
Yeah.
And those beings that you've met throughout your life, you could look in their eyes and say, I know there's someone there. What you're sensing, I believe, is the potential.
Yeah.
Yes, they are conscious, but they aren't wise like you are. You're a graduate, Mark. My God. I mean, if anybody's going to graduate from this matrix this time, you're certainly in the graduating class.
Well,
You
thank
wouldn't
you.
be doing what you're doing without exploring this level of depth and
Yeah.
of thinking.
Thank you. And go ahead.
And the flat Earth is just another layer of the onion. And you see, this onion can only be peeled from the inside out. That means you're alone in there. You're digging your way out of this thing.
Yeah.
And the flat Earth discovery is a layer along the way.
Yeah.
And then you say, well, what's after flat Earth? Well, my God, it's a dream.
Yeah.
And if it's a dream and I have the ability to choose, well, maybe I can modify it. Now you're dancing, you're waltzing with your higher self.
Yeah.
You say, well, let's dance a little this way. Let's change the tempo a little bit.
Yeah.
You see, I think we're really onto something here. Yeah, but when you look in the eyes of these, simple-minded souls,
Yeah.
there's someone there, but not someone there that you can understand. You're going to love them more than they're going to love you, because they, just like a child is, the parent always adores the child.
Yeah.
Much more than the child could ever, reciprocate.
Yeah. It just
You had something.
it takes time and the right choices. It all still, it comes down to the choice. And what you were saying is so true, which is we have to make, nobody that creates this, us, they don't want mindless automatons. They want people that make their own choices and make the choices they want. Of course, there's an element of risk there. You want us to make the right decisions and live the right lives and make them proud, but you don't want it to be so forced that it's like, well, if they did it just because I said so, that's not going to help me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you if you're God, you want someone to love you because they choose to, not because they're programmed to do so.
Yeah.
And what better way to make the universe so incredibly and richly complex and random is to throw out Googles of seeds, little sparks of consciousness with the basic programs, which is I'm aware that I exist, and I'll tell you that is the most certainty you'll ever have.
Yeah.
Is that I know I exist, but I'm not absolutely sure about these others. But it's always good to give others the benefit of the doubt, and I think that's a good protocol and decorum. Is
Nice.
Give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yes, sir, they may be acting like non-player characters, but you don't know who they're going to be.
Yeah.
Down the line, and they could sprout. Not all seeds sprout.
Good point.
And I can only imagine. I can only imagine what happens to those. I'm sure there's some benevolent recycling program for consciousness, little sparks or souls that never choose to say, I'm going to craft my reality rather than accept what I've been offered.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this group of yours that you're forming.
Yeah.
That's what makes it part of the graduating class. And what an exciting group of people.
Yeah.
They are. Oh my God, the experience, because you can't possibly swim against the current.
Yeah.
Of everything NASA's throwing at us in the schools and everything, unless you're really ready